Greg Sweetser, he is the Executive Director of Ski Maine, and he is here to talk about skiing and to unveil your new 2016-17 membership guide. Good morning, Greg. How are you?
I'm great.
Always a pleasure to see you, and you're as excited as Kip is about all this snow.
This is perfect timing, obviously. The past couple of weeks have been cold in ski country, and everybody, I think there's a lot of pent-up demand. We'll have one of the biggest days across the entire New England region for skiing today, and tomorrow should be just as well.
What will all this snow do for all those rural ski areas, Greg?
Well, you know, everybody right now is covered with snow right to the coast, and that has been very helpful because the old backyard syndrome definitely kicked in the past couple of weeks. You know, the Ski Maine office is in downtown Portland, and talking to people in the coffee shops, I mean, people think it's springtime, which they think it's the end of ski season.
Right.
We keep reminding them it's winter in March, and you know it can be one of our biggest snowfall months of the year. So it's great that we got the big storm. It was great timing. Having a storm on Wednesday is perfect for the mountains. Everybody's shoveled out and cleaned out by the time it's ready to go. You know, Lost Valley has just buried with snow. You know, in this membership guide, you know, we produced this and we actually listed all of the members by town. So we have all of our cross-country centers and all of the Nordics and all of the Alpine areas. Because when the legislator looks at what's going on in the state of Maine and the ski business, they know Sugarloaf, they know Sunday River, Shawnee Peak, they've heard of Camden, but boy, when you get beyond that, they really are unaware of how many ski areas there are. So even Powder House Hill, which is always my favorite southern ski area in South Berwick, they reopened this week with this amount of snow. So, you know, they're able to turn the switch on and off depending on what the snow does. And they have a great loyal group. It's $5 a lift ticket every time you go to Powder House Hill. And they have a great rope tow and they groom the hill out very nicely. And by having snow all the way there, you know, people are out skiing. Harris Farm is in Dayton, Cross Country Center. They do a great job. We just have a new member that's joined the organization up in Madawaska, so we now have the very northern tip of the state. The Four Seasons Trail Center, another great community, Nordic Center, has joined the organization. The Birches, just outside of Greenville. John Willard there has been in the business for many, many years with cabins, snowmobiling, and cross-country trails. So our mission is, you know, I've been on the road visiting all the ski areas in the state of Maine this year.
Good for you.
I spent all of February vacation week in Aroostook County, and you know, the skiing was fabulous. The people are great. We have a couple of world-class biathlon centers there, and the resources, you know, what it really did, it just reminds me of the resources that we have in the inland regions of Maine, especially in winter. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the rural economy across the state of Maine. The woods product industry is changing. It's never going away. We have some of the greatest fiber in the world grown here in the state of Maine. But the industry is changing, and places like Millinocket have really transitioned. New England Outdoor Center, Twin Pines Campground. Matt Polstein there has really expanded into a year-round business. He's got rafting, he's got camps. They have some beautiful cross-country trails, and they've created partnerships with the local land trust and with another group up there to develop these ski trails, which are now multi-purpose into mountain biking trails.
Perfect.
We're seeing that here in Carrabassett Valley, even in Presque Isle and Madawaska and Fort Kent. All these centers are really becoming year-round focal points. Again, the revenue that the ski business is going to generate on a bluebird day like today crushes anything that we can do in the summertime, but summer is really, really important. I mean, every employee we can keep year-round is a huge benefit to us. So this snowstorm is perfect. You know, it'll take us right through the end of March. And unfortunately, some of the smaller ski areas are already, you know, their end ski date is typically mid-March. Camden Snow Bowl reopened this weekend as a bonus weekend because of the snow. But their schedule was, you know, mid-March, the interest begins to wane, but I think they're going to have a big weekend there. So we're hoping we set some records. You know, the business this year has been above average is kind of the tone out there. We've had some big days, but then the last 2 weeks, you know, you get a cold weekend, that kind of, you know, that absorbs a lot of those revenues from the big days. So
right. Yeah.
We're hoping for a record breaker today.
I think so.
So when people are waiting in the lift line, especially the locals, the midweek skiers, you should thank everybody beside you because their revenue is keeping those lifts running on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday when there's not as many people here.
Very good point. Very good point.
I call the weekends, it's a social time.
Yeah.
I meet more folks from southern Maine, here in the lift lines than I ever do at my office.
It's true. Yeah.
It's a nice social time. You get a break between runs and
yeah.
meet somebody new.
And we're blessed with no wind today. And so are these available to the general public?
Well, we have them, mostly I'm distributing a lot to all the legislators in Augusta. Whatever meetings I go to, I have them. We have a similar guide that's available at all the Maine visitor centers across the state. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously the internet, our website provides so much more information than even the print materials that we don't print nearly as much as we used to, hence the change in some of the woods product industry. Mm-hmm. But print hasn't gone away. Print is still very valuable in a number of different mediums that we use. Mm-hmm. And the other advantage of print is we pick up new members. Mm-hmm. I can go to the legislature, I can print a new version because it's the printing functions today. I can print 100 at a time, I can print 1,000 at a time. We don't have to print the runs of 10 and 20,000 that we used to. So everything's changing. There's a new economy out there. We're just really trying to pound home the fact that the ski areas have a huge part of the rural economy.
Right.
I mean, you look at, we had the Maine Governor's Conference on Tourism this week in Augusta. The Tuesday night reception was canceled due to the blizzard. It was a great snowstorm. Mm-hmm. But, the tourism business in Maine is about a $6 billion industry. Winter, between skiing and snowmobiling, we account for over $500 million. So we're still, a smaller percentage of the entire tourism package, but that $500 million in the inland regions of Maine, in the wintertime, when it's cold out, I think our dollars have a bigger impact in the winter than maybe even some of the summer dollars do.
Yeah. I agree. Good point. And these, of course, will lead you to the website, too.
They will.
All that information.
I'll leave some with you, so
we
the crowds that come into WSKI can pick
thousands.
these up.
Well, stay right here with us, Greg. We're going to keep you here and talk some more, and we'll be right back.